In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Amen. In 2014, Hollywood released a sweet, low-budget film. A sweet, low-budget film called St. Vincent. And in this sweet, low-budget film, there was a story about a young, small boy named Oliver, whose parents were going through a divorce, and so Oliver and his mother had to move to a less affluent neighborhood, and the mother had to take on a new job in order to support the family, and that necessitated getting a babysitter for Oliver after school. And Oliver had to start a new school, and this new school was a Catholic school, and one of his teachers was a priest who on the first day of Oliver's enrollment gave out the big assignment. You are to locate, research, and prepare yourselves to present a candidate as a modern-day saint. And so the film unfolds, and it's mostly about Oliver and his relationship with the babysitter his mother procured. And the babysitter is the next-door neighbor, Vincent, who is no one a responsible adult would give oversight of their child. No one. There is scene after scene after scene in the movie of questionable behavior. But in the climax of the movie, in an auditorium filled with parents waiting to see who their child will have picked, in an auditorium filled with classmates and teachers and the head of school, Oliver steps up and presents his nominated saint, Vincent. And this is what Oliver has to say about Vincent. Vincent is old and sloppy and grumpy, and Vincent drinks too much. And Vincent gambles too much. And Vincent has been known to cheat. And Vincent doesn't like people, and most people don't like Vincent. And Vincent has lots of regrets in his life. But he tells that filled auditorium, look beyond the flaws in this man. Look beyond the flaws in this man, and you will see qualities of a saint. And then little, small, articulate Oliver outlines 4 such qualities, and he says, saints are courageous. Saints never give up. They never give up on themselves. They don't give up on others. They don't give up on ideals. They stand and they fight. They fight for themselves and they fight for others so that their voices will be heard and they will be seen and they will be acknowledged and therefore they will be valued. Saints are courageous. And Oliver says, saints understand sacrifice. In small and larger ways, saints give up their personal comfort for the well-being of others. In small and larger ways in their lives, they give up personal comfort for the welfare of others. Saints know compassion. They have a concern, they have an awareness, and that awareness translates into care for the trials and the hard realities that others face. And saints are in touch with their humanity. They understand that in their created nature they are flawed, they have frailties, they have brokenness, but more than that, more than just that, They have been created with a yearning for good, a yearning to see good in the world, a yearning to be good in the world, a yearning to make good real and true in the world. Those are the qualities of a saint, Oliver says. But beloved, what is it that saints actually do? Well, a more renowned and a more accepted saint than Vincent, a saint with whom we are all more familiar, Mother Teresa, says this: the hunger for love in the world is more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread. The hunger for love in the world is more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread. Who are saints? And what do? They are human beings actively engaged in the cause of removing or diminishing the hunger of love. And dear ones, this is a noble cause, and this is demanding work. And ordinary human beings like Vincent, and ordinary human beings like Dottie and Robert and Tom and Christian and Jack and Doreen and Melinda, ordinary human beings can do this work. They can do this demanding work. They can do it, but going it alone, relying on our own devices, it is hard to be successful, and it's hard to make a positive outcome. It's just very, very difficult to stick at it. So what is the answer? What can be done to make the work of diminishing and removing the hunger of love in the world more accessible to us? How can we be more successful in that work? Today's lesson from the Gospel of John holds an answer. For the past few weeks, passage after passage after passage has given us the same message. Jesus tells the disciples, and Jesus tells those around him, I am the bread of life. I am the bread of heaven. I am sent by the Father to feed you, and by feeding you, I feed the world. I am the bread of life. I am the bread of heaven. And that means I am love sent from the Father. I am the sustaining food that lasts forever. Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood abide in me, and I in them. Take me in and make me part of you. Jesus is saying we were created to be the agents that diminish the hunger of love in the world, and that we can be successful in that work, in that created work, if we align ourselves with him. But it cannot be casual. It cannot be casual. This is why he uses such incredibly graphic language. Take me in. Consume me. Make me the essence of you. Take my essence and let it become your essence. Take me all the way in. Don't stand on the sidelines reading about me. Consume my message. Consume my ethic. Jesus says, take all of me in. Consume me. Feel me going down. Feel me filling you up. Feast on me. I am the answer of removing, of diminishing, of easing the hunger, that emptiness, that longing for love. Eat me up. Drink me down. Eat me up. Drink me down. Then you, beloved, will have what you need. Dear ones, our humanity reminds us, and our humanity provokes us, and our humanity nags us. And it makes us aware that despite our flaws and our weaknesses and our attention spans of gnats and all our less attractive qualities, our humanity reminds us that we still have created inside us this yearning to sate the world's hunger for love. Somewhere deep within us, a desire to say to those who feel unseen and unheard and unloved, you are seen, and you are heard, and you are loved. You were created good and valuable. You matter. You are loved. Somewhere deep within us, we have this desire to make those claims. Somewhere deep within us, we too want to be saints. We want to be those human agents, courageous, sacrificing, compassionate, and tied to our humanity. We want to remove that hunger of love. We want to be those saints, but we need help. We need help to make that desire manifest. So calling on this morning's gospel, I offer this aid. Through this week, make this prayer. Get a sticky. Put it on your eye, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your steering wheel. Make this prayer, offer a meditation, recite a similar mantra. Lord Jesus, you are the bread of life. You are the food of love. Let me feast on you today. Let your essence fuel my essence. Let me be you in the world today. Let me feed the world love. Lord Jesus, you are the bread of life. You are the food of love. Let me feast on you today. Let your essence fuel my essence. Let me be you in the world today. Let me feed the world love. Amen.